So here we go, guys, with our 15th fight on the Victory Kickboxing Series. This is a boxing matchup. We have Lewis Dunnett fighting out of CKA and Richard Currie fighting out of Mamba Martial Arts.
And this is a rematch as well from our last show.
It is indeed, yeah. It wasn't actually our last show, it was for another promotion that we commentated on, if you remember, Ryan, actually a while ago.
Yes, my mistake, yeah, it was.
I think we were trying to make this for the last show and we weren't able to make the fight for that one, so we've managed to get it on finally to get these two boys back for a rematch, just to settle
it was when we
up.
popped the cherry for the commentating together.
Yeah, absolutely. So, interesting one this. Obviously, these two boys matched up before on a previous promotion, as we've said. Bit of a funny one as well, you know, the judges called that one a draw. It was a very, very close fight. And as I've said, you know, in videos since then, a lot of people were telling Lewis that he potentially should have won that. And I think he's got something to prove.
But personally, I thought he did edge it. But like I say, we only get one perspective of the fight. Judges get three.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. It was definitely a close one. Lewis Dunnett, obviously 6-1 full contact kickboxing fight. Tons of light con fights, all kickboxing based. Richard Currie's 5-2 in boxing. I mean, he's got 60 plus light con fights as well. You know, Richard Currie was actually a decent kickboxer before he had a knee injury and then just took to boxing.
But this was a proper scrap last time.
It was indeed, and straight away you can see exactly the same thing we saw last time from Richard Currie, which is some very good head movement.
Back on your jab now. Back on your jab now, Lewis. That's not broke. Come up. Jab. Stay behind it.
Lewis Dunnett he's a big guy as well. You know, he's a nice tall guy and he's got good reach and he's a very solid fighter.
Lovely shot.
Nice right hand there from Dunnett.
Some good head movement there from Currie.
Yeah, he's got great head movements. He really knows how to bob and weave. And he's a very compact fighter. I think perhaps one of the things in the last fight that I did notice about Richard was he started to slow down and got very tired towards the end.
Yeah.
I know speaking to him, that's something that he was aware of as well. I think he'd had some sort of illness before that fight, you were telling me, weren't you, Ryan? And, you know, maybe just took a bit of his gas out of his tank.
He actually had a long time out as well before that bout.
And behind me I can just hear the CKA army singing loudly as they always do. They always bring a really good following with them. Nice shots there from Lewis. Very, very nice shots from Lewis there on the belt. Obviously, Lewis Dunnett comes from a very passionate fighting family. Obviously spearheaded by the father, Peter Dunnett, who's the main man behind CKA. All heavily involved in combat sports around the Suffolk area, him and his brothers as well. Richard Currie, very similar setup between both these guys actually. Do you know, they're both very heavily involved in their clubs. Yeah. Both take coaching duties at their clubs. So Richard Currie takes over the boxing duties at Mamba Martial Arts as well. Very, very similar in those ways. So there wasn't a lot in that first round for me, Ryan. Let's see if what happens in this second round.
I'd like to see a few more cleaner shots get through.
Some nice straight shots there and some stiff jabs from Lewis. Richard Currie just trying to get inside and bully him a little bit there, I feel.
But Dunnett definitely using his range a bit more with that jab.
That was a lovely left hook by Lewis there, and again. And I can just hear his corner telling him not to get involved in that scrap. Keep his distance, outbox him.
Right hook body, right hook body. Where is it? Listen. Right hook body, set up in there. Listen, Lewis, good footwork. Let's move round. Let's move round, don't get involved. Box and move, box and move.
Nice left hand pushing forward from Currie.
Oh, another right hand there from Lewis.
That was beautiful. He's really using that jab to good use.
Go inside now, it's up at tempo, Lewis. Fourth gear now, fourth gear.
Lewis trying to come in with that left uppercut, but Currie doing well to move that away.
He's gassing, Lewis, he's gassing. Down the middle now, down the middle. Lovely shot there.
Yeah, he's having good luck with that left hook, isn't he, Lewis? Done it. He's dropped that on him a few times.
Yeah,
he's
he
having good results with it.
Downstairs, Lewis.
Great left hand there from Currie.
Downstairs.
That's the danger with Richard Currie. You know, he does lunge forward and he does throw some big shots. You catch one of those on the chin, you definitely know about him. And that was a beautiful uppercut from Dunnett there.
Back to your jab now, Lewis. It's free. Back to your jab and free.
Better round there for Lewis, I feel.
Yeah,
Right?
but I thought that was it. It just edged that round for me. What worries me with Currie at the moment, he does look like he's gassing a little bit, and a lot of that is contributing for the fact that I think he's moving too much around the ring. You know, rather than trying to take the centre a little bit more. He's the shorter man at the end of the day. He needs to close that gap rather than keep moving away.
Yeah, absolutely. He does like to lunge forward, and he does like to throw big, heavy, wild shots as well. And you know, when those shots miss, obviously it's energy expended that's just
Of course, because he's using up most of the energy, steaming forward rather than edging forward, placing his shots, making his shots count.
Be interesting to see what happens in this third round now. If he does start to gas, I feel that will definitely give Dunnett the opportunity to up the pace slightly and maybe just nick this fight.
It is. It's tipping in his favour if Currie starts to gas in this round even more.
Here we go now, Lewis. Keep him at that jab thing. Keep at the jab thing. Set up the right up. Here we go.
And Richard Currie lunging forward there with some shots, and all he seemed to get for it was
Great
some
right hand by
straight
Lewis there.
answers from Lewis.
Lovely shot. That hurt him, Lewis. Let's go. Let's go, Lewis. That hurt him. Good. You're picking him off lovely. Let's go now. Up the gear now, Lewis. Up the gear.
Oh, great combination by Lewis, but a great counter as well by Currie.
Move round. Move round. Back on your jab. Back on your jab.
Yeah, nice right to the body and then upstairs from Richard Currie there.
Let's go.
Lovely uppercut from Lewis though.
Lewis, up the middle now. Up the middle. Where is it?
Yeah, Lewis Dunnett just stalking Currie a bit there now onto the ropes.
Let's stalk him down now, Lewis. Cut the ring off. Working there now. Lovely, Lewis.
Oh, a great left hook there by Lewis Dunnett.
Let's go, Lewis. Hard hands now. Put the pressure on.
Lovely left hand. I feel he's going to put the pressure on here.
Hard hands, son. Lewis, set the right
Again,
hand.
lovely jab from Dunnett.
Left hook, right hand. Lewis. Working there now, Lewis. You don't want it. You don't want it, Lewis.
And Richard Currie looking very tired now.
He does.
He's made it to the end of that round. Good exhibition of boxing there from those two boys.
It was, but I definitely think we're in for a completely different result from what we had last time.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's a little bit of a clearer fight this time.
Yeah.
We had some good head movement from Richard Currie in that fight. Some good boxing looking movement from him, but we had some great straight shots from Dunnett and some really good use of the uppercut as well.
And the judges have scored this contest a unanimous decision in favour of the blue corner. Please, ladies and gentlemen,